Hello and welcome to the Path to Freedom podcast, a weekly podcast with the intention to inspire, empower, and uplift us all to develop a healing consciousness that we, that is you and me, may forever allow for greater and grander versions and expressions of who and what we are to emerge with ease, grace, and spiritual dignity. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and I am your host. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Path to Freedom podcast with me, Daniel Roquillo. This is a weekly podcast with the intention to inspire and empower and uplift all of us to develop a healing consciousness that we may forever allow for greater and grander versions and expressions of who and what we are, of what spirit is, to emerge in and as us with ease and grace and dignity. So this is a weekly podcast, and I'm so happy to be with you here. I'm so grateful that you've chosen to join me here tonight or today or tomorrow or whatever and wherever you may be. It's been a while since I sat in this chair, since I recorded an episode of this podcast with the holidays and everything. It's been almost 2 weeks. So I'm very excited to be here. And it also feels a little bit new to me. It's like I've never done it before. So I'm actually a little bit not nervous, but uncomfortable, perhaps. But I know that spirit is here. I know that spirit guides and leads and moves me. So I've got nothing to worry about. Everything is just right. Divine right action is at play in this moment right now. So I just lean into that. I just lean into that. All right, so tonight's episode, or this week's episode, is called Finding the Wholeness in the Nowness of This Moment. And as always, these topics, they come to me because of something that I'm going through in my life, in my development, in my unfolding on this path and on this journey that I am on. And as I said, we're just coming out of the holidays. And the holidays this year have been very, very intense for me. It is the intensity peak of the year at one of the places where I get to give my service. And so it's been very intense work-wise. And also with our children being home from school, and with this year, the COVID-19 sort of inhibiting or prohibiting them from going to see friends of theirs. So they have been at home a lot this break, this holiday break, which has left me with little to no space of my own at all. So it's been 3 weeks where I've either been at work, dealing with work, or I've been at home giving and sharing and being of service to my children. They're quite small yet, so, and I love that they want my attention. I love that they want my attention. I love that they want to hang out with me. But as perhaps all parents know, it's not always easy to find a space and a place of my own and of our own in a household with small children. So I'm very happy, I'm very grateful that they're back in school. I'm very happy, I'm very grateful that I get to reclaim this space, that I get to reclaim my own space. But so the topic for today, finding the wholeness in the nowness of this moment, it relates to this experience that I've had of not having time for myself, of not having downtime to meditate, to pray, to even think my own thoughts without being interrupted. And the consequences of not having or not giving myself that time. And so I have been, more about that later. But as always, before we get into the episode, let's get into the stillness that is here. Let's pause. Let's stop. Coming back to the nowness of this moment. Becoming still. Turning within. Just be for a moment. So I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to find a comfortable seat. And I invite you to turn your attention within. Turn your attention to your breathing. Feel the chest rising and falling. Feel the air flowing in and out. And if it feels all right with you, you may rest your hands in your lap and allow the body to relax. And I invite you to take a deep and conscious breath. Another deep, unifying breath. Let's move into stillness. Allowing the outside world to fade from our attention. Turning and placing our attention on our breathing, allowing the body to breathe gently, slowly. And should a thought pull our attention away, we gently and lovingly bring it back to our breathing, and we begin again. Each moment is a new starting point. So coming back to the nowness of this moment means giving yourself a fresh start, a clean start. is well. Peace, be still. All is well. Peace, be still. All is well. Peace, be still. All is well. Peace, be still. And as I, in a minute, move into a blessing and a prayer, I invite you to remain with your eyes closed, your attention on your breathing. I invite you to stay relaxed, to stay still. That you may be open and available, receptive for the vibration of the prayer to move through you. And so in this moment, how grateful I am, how good it feels to be here, to be now, how grateful I am for who I am, for who I'm becoming, for that next great and grand version and expression of who and what I am that is emerging. I give thanks for it. I give great thanks for it. And how grateful I am for the technology that allows this episode to come into being, that allows for you and me to participate in a co-creation of the love, the peace, the joy, the harmony, the wholeness that is being generated right now. I'm grateful for the stillness. I'm grateful for this space of safety, of security, of love. And from this space of gratitude, I gratefully recognize Spirit as infinite love, as infinite peace, as infinite joy, as infinite harmony, wholeness, wellness. I recognize that God is all there is. There is nothing but God. But God is fully present in every space and place. And when I say fully present, I recognize that all of that which God is, the infinite love, the infinite peace, the infinite abundance, the infinite joy, the infinite wholeness, the infinite harmony, the infinite peace, excellence, all of that is present in every space and place. Because God, Spirit, cannot diminish itself. It cannot contradict itself. It cannot divide itself. But all of that which God is fully present everywhere. Which means that right here where I am, Spirit is. Which means that I am a unique and perfect emanation of Spirit, of peace, of love, of abundance, of harmony, of peace, of joy, freedom. That I am all those things expressing themselves in, as, and through me. That as I walk in this world, I am peace walking in the world. I am love walking in the world. I'm harmony walking in the world. Abundance, wholeness walking in the world. God is, I am. Spirit is, I am. Peace is, I am. Wholeness is, I am. Harmony is, I am. Abundance is, I am. And as this is true for me, I know that it is the truth for you. For everyone, anyone who's hearing the sound of my voice, this is the truth. That right where you are, Spirit is. Right where you are, love is. That right where you are, wholeness is. Health is. Divine right action is. Freedom is. Right where you are. As God is the sustainer and maintainer of everything. As God sources and fuels and funds all of life. Both you and I are forever, eternally sustained and maintained by Spirit. Both you and I are forever sourced and fueled and funded by God. Forever moved and guided and led along our unique path that we may forever allow for greater and grander expressions to emerge. That we may forever allow for the wholeness that is inherent within us to shine forth. That we may be beacons of light. That we may be luminous, magnificent, excellent, like we have never imagined before. Wholeness is. I know it, I feel it, I accept it, I give thanks for it, I allow it to be. All is well, peace be still. Peace is. I know it, I feel it, I accept it, I give thanks for it, I allow it to be. All is well, peace be still. Abundance is. I know it, I feel it, I accept it, I give thanks for it, I allow it to be. All is well. Peace, be still. Harmony and love are. I know it. I feel it. I accept it. I give thanks for it. I allow it to be. All is well. Peace, be still. Something wonderful is happening. Something wonderful is happening. Right where you are, right where I am. Through coming back to the nowness of this moment. Through becoming still, turning our attention within, we are now making ourselves open and available, more open and available than we've ever been before. That spirit may flow through us like never before. Truly, all is well. All is well. Peace, be still. And as I release the word, I do so fully knowing that I need not hold on to anything. The word is law. The word has a life of its own. And it is now demonstrating itself in, as, and through you, in, as, and through me. It is done. It was done from the beginning of time. Before the beginning of time, it was done. I know it. I feel it. I accept it. I give thanks for it. I allow it to be. So be it. So it is. Amen. 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 You may open your eyes and welcome back. And I believe I forgot to welcome you back if you have tuned in before. And if you have not tuned in before, I welcome you. All are welcome. All are welcome. All right. So finding the wholeness in the nowness of this moment. It is about releasing and letting go of that which is without, of conditions and situations, experiences, appearances, point of views, beliefs, perceptions. It is about stepping out of time, allowing the wholeness that is inherent within us, the freedom that is inherent within us, the peace that is inherent within us to emerge from within us. As I said in the beginning, before we went into meditation, I've had a couple, 3 weeks that have been very intense. And actually today, just before, not just before, but earlier today was the first time in almost a month that I had the privilege and the opportunity and the blessing to meditate in an empty house. I have been meditating, but there has always been someone here, the kids watching TV or playing, or my wife singing, or whatever she has been doing. But today was the first time that I actually got to meditate in an empty house. And oh my God, that was so nice. But the thing about someone once asked me the key to healing. And it's, if you have been following the podcast, you may maybe you paid attention to the fact that the intention of this podcast has changed slightly. Over the last month or so, a process has begun within me where I've realized that everything that we do on this path, that all of the spiritual unfolding and development that we do, that we allow to happen, it can all be summed up with the word healing. Or another word for all that we do is healing. Like someone once said that 100% of all the spiritual unfoldment, of all the spiritual expansion, growing, is about releasing, letting go of that which no longer serves us. All of it is about releasing, letting go of that which no longer serves us. So that means small and limited thought patterns and paradigms and perceptions and beliefs, point of views, all of that, as we release and let the old ones go, the small and limited, as we release and let that go, something new gets to emerge. And that is how expansion happens. And as Spirit has guided me to sort of identify or define healing, healing is the releasing and letting go of all of that which hinders spirit from flowing through us fully and freely. So that all of that which hinders abundance from flowing through us, that is healing. All of that which hinders love from flowing through us fully and freely, that is healing. All of that which hinders peace from flowing through us fully and freely, that is healing. And joy and freedom and excellence. So that is healing. So healing is not confined only to physical healing, but healing involves every single area in our lives. There are relationship healings. There are geographical healings. There are obviously financial healings, livelihood healings. When we talk about job and employment and work and all that stuff. So there are many, many healings, but they all boil down to the same thing, that we need to release and let go of something. So that's it. That's the new. It's a slightly different approach that this podcast is going to take from now on. We will be talking a lot about healing and wholeness. The wholeness that is inherent within us, that does not come from the outside world in any way, but that is already within us. And as we heal, as we allow for that wholeness to emerge, with that wholeness, the greater and the grander expressions and versions of who we are also emerges. So it's a little bit play of words, but to me, it marks a significant difference in that the healing or the work that we do is not to get something from the outside world. It's not about manifesting anything. It's not about demonstrating anything, but it's about releasing and allowing the wholeness that is within us to simply emerge. And so, once again, finding the wholeness in the nowness of this moment. During the holidays, as at one of my places of employment, it's been very intense. And as I've had very close to none or no time for myself outside of work, what has happened, and I'm grateful to acknowledge, and I'm grateful to realize when I look back that I have stayed in a high vibration. I've been very tired, absolutely. It's been challenging, absolutely, but I've stayed in high vibration throughout this whole month. I have not been grumpy in any way. I've not been irritable in any way. I have not been judgmental in any way or opinionated. But the consequence of me not giving myself enough time to come back to the nowness of this moment has been that I am overflooded with thoughts, and most of them have to do with the future. There's three tenses. There's past, present, and future. Past, present, future. And most of us predominantly reside in one of them. Some people have the tendency to dwell on the past, regurgitate, play the victim card over something that happened perhaps a long, long time ago. And some people have the tendency to move into the future, perhaps anxiety and fear and worry about something that is may or maybe not going to happen. And then some people predominantly reside in the present moment with shame and guilt and embarrassment and all of that. And for me, my tendency is to lean into the future. It has not been with worry that I have leaned into the future. It's not been fearful or fretful in any way. But I'm constantly trying to figure out stuff about the future, the best way to approach clients and the best way to be of greater service, constantly. And I have been aware of this, but it was only today, as I have had a space where I could be with just me, that it became very evident. Like I was practicing before, just when I got up this morning, or after I took the kids to school. I came back home and I started to exercise. And even in that exercise, and I usually try to make the exercise as intense as possible. I enjoy the feeling of being physically tired. I enjoy the feeling and the experience of feeling that I have exercised. But even during the exercise, it was a 60-minute exercise, and even during that exercise, I found myself over and over and over again moving out of the nowness of this moment into the future, over and over and over again. And then after the exercise, I went into meditation. Exercise is always a good starting place for meditation. And even in the meditation, it was the moments of stillness, they were few and they were short. They were few and short. I mean, I'm not judging this in any way. I'm just observing that this is what happens. And this, me not being able to center myself in the nowness of this moment, it is because I have not given myself this downtime. And so the wholeness and the peace and the freedom and the harmony that is within each of us at all times. It cannot be accessed in time. It cannot be accessed in time, but we need to find moments. We have been talking about the moments in between, and these are good. Using our moments in between is an excellent way and a magnificent way of centering ourselves. But I think it was yesterday that I got this metaphor that these moments in between, they're like sort of daily exercise. You know, you take the stairs instead of the elevator, and you walk rather, or ride the bike rather than taking the car if you're going just a short distance. You know, this daily exercise. But if you would want to tone your body, or if you would want to enjoy a much healthier body, or if you'd like to run 10 miles or be able to run 10 miles, just walking for 10 minutes or taking the stairs is not good enough. It's not enough. I don't want to say good enough, but it's not enough. But if you want to be able to run 10 miles, you need to run 10 miles. So there's difference between I don't know what it's called in English actually. So I'm trying to find the words for it, but I'm hoping that you get the sense of it, the gist of it. And so meditation is for me, meditation is the foundation for me being able to use these moments in between. When I don't have a regular meditation practice, as I've not had during these 4 weeks or 3 weeks or during the holidays, the moments in between, there's a statement, we need to remember. And as I'm not via meditation, not centered and grounded in the nowness of this moment, I don't remember to remember, but I forget. So finding wholeness is about, and finding peace, and finding love, and finding abundance, finding freedom. It is all about coming back to the nowness of this moment. Because it is here that we find it. We will not find peace out there. We will not find wholeness out there, nor abundance. Sure, there are lots of people that have a lot of money. But unless they have done the inner work necessary, they are not living an abundant life. But they are still trapped in time, fearful of losing their money, or fearful of not having enough money. But the wholeness and the abundance and the peace and the harmony and the joy, it is here in this moment. And so it is in this moment, the nowness of this moment, not the present. Not the present. Because the nowness of this moment is not bound by time. Present is a tense. Past, present, future. The nowness of this moment is beyond time, outside of time. It is here. We find the wholeness. So let's, once again, I invite you to close your eyes. And I invite you to take a deep breath. invite you to be still. Turn your attention within and just be with your breathing. You don't have to do it. You don't have to make your body breathe. But just be with it. And give yourself permission to release and let go of any and all opinions, judgments, point of views, perceptions, thoughts as to what should and should not be, thoughts as to what someone did to you, or perhaps not did to you or for you. I invite you to release and let all of that go and just come back to the nowness of this moment. And in the nowness of this moment, I invite you to pay attention to what it feels like. The sense of lightness that is here, the sense of peace that is here, the sense of joy that is here. Even if you have a medical condition or an injury, I invite you to release and let go of everything you think you know about that medical condition, about that injury, what it's called, how long it's going to last, how difficult it may be to heal, all the various steps that healing, according to medicine, Western medicine, all the steps that you need to go through in order to heal it. Or if you have a financial condition, I invite you to release and let go all the labels. I invite you to release and let go of logic and reason, saying that it has to take this amount of time before I can get rich. No, we're not talking richness. We're talking abundance. We're talking opulence. We're talking affluence, the free flow of energy, the free flow of source and supply. I invite you, whatever condition you may find yourself in, I invite you to release and let go of any and all thoughts, perceptions, labels, opinions about it. Come back to the nowness of this moment, to the wholeness. And just please be aware that right now, right in this moment, all of our needs are met. In this very moment, there is nothing lacking us. There's nothing missing us. But all we need, we have. If we only come back to the nowness of this moment, all we need, we have. God is forever sourcing and fueling and funding each of us. Spirit is forever sustaining and maintaining each and every single one of us, because we are. There is no us. There is no me. There is no mine. There is no I. Nor is there you or yours. There is only Spirit. Everything is unique and perfect emanation of all of that Spirit is. A unique and perfect emanation of wholeness, unique and perfect emanation of abundance, a unique and perfect emanation of peace and freedom and love. All of it, all of it, all that. All of us is a unique and perfect emanation of that. Each and single one of us is Spirit expressing itself in, as, and through us. As long as we give Spirit permission to express itself in, as, and through us fully and freely. And by coming back to the nowness of this moment, that is exactly what we are doing. We give Spirit permission to express itself in us and through us, beyond our imagination, beyond past experiences, beyond logic, beyond reason. All is well. Peace be still. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. All is well. Peace be still. Nothing missing, nothing lacking. Everything we have in this moment, in this moment, in this moment, in this moment. Remember to come back to the nowness of this moment. Remember to release and let go. Leaning into spirit, trusting spirit. Trusting the field of infinite possibilities. Trusting the grace of spirit, the grace of God, the goodness of life. Trusting wholeness to guide and move and lead us, to sustain and maintain us, to source and fuel and fund us. Trust it, feel it, trust it, feel it, trust it, feel it, trust it, feel it. All is well, peace be still. All is well. In this moment, right now, all is well. And peace be still. And so we release and let go of anxiety, fear, worry, doubt, a sense of being a victim. Peace be still. And we are now addressing our minds. We are now addressing the consciousness that we are. Peace be still. All is well. We've come to the point where it is time to set next week's intention. For those of you who have not followed the podcast, for those of you who may have missed the conversation I had with Reverend Kim Stanwood Terranova, where she described what she called the 3 pillars of intentions, where she described how we set a successful intention or a powerful intention. There are 3 components or 3 ingredients, 3 pillars. They are to be in the now. They are to be affirmative. And they are to be based in qualities rather than outcomes. And so we set intentions in the now. That is, my intention is for this and that, for me to experience this and that now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. And they are to be affirmative, which means that when setting an intention, we are not to say that I don't want to eat sugar anymore, or I want to not yell at my kids. But we are to set them from an affirmative or a positive space. And so rather than saying that I don't want to eat sugar anymore, we could say that I want for wholeness to emerge from within me. I want to experience greater health. I want to experience greater abundance. I want to experience greater peace or freedom or harmony or joy. Which brings us into the third pillar, based in qualities. These are qualities: peace, freedom, love, joy, abundance. They are qualities. They are not describing a particular outcome, but they are describing a sense of being. And so I invite you to, once again, close your eyes and become still. Turn within and ask for your intention for the next week. So what is my intention for this coming week, for these next 7 days? I invite you to ask the question. I invite you to be still and listen for the answer, to catch the answer, and it will be revealed to you in a language and in a way that you can understand. That you can understand. My intention, the intention that I caught, is to come back to the nowness of this moment as much as possible, as often as I can remember. I missed I have missed the nowness in this moment. I've missed the holy now. My God, such peace is here. Such freedom is here. Such joy is here. Such harmony is here. So that's my intention. To begin to re-anchor myself in the nowness of this moment. Also with intentions, I invite you to, whatever intention you caught, I invite you to write it down. Piece of paper, a pen, write it down and place it somewhere where you look at it repeatedly so that it stays alive and active with you, in you. And also, and this is essential and this is crucial, in order for an intention to do anything, we need to give the intention permission to move us into some kind of action. If we catch an intention and place it somewhere, but don't do anything with it and don't let it do anything to us, then that intention is momentarily lost. That's sort of a waste. So we need to give it permission to move us into some kind of action. Yes? All right. So I'm going to bless us out. If your eyes happen to open up, I invite you to close them again. And so in this moment, once again, I am so grateful for this space that we have co-created, this unified space of such harmony and such peace and such lightness. The wholeness that is flowing through space. My God, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And in other words, I bless your participation in this, because it's not me doing it. It's we allowing it to flow through us. Whenever you are, wherever you are participating in this. You are co-creating this field that moves beyond time and space. So I bless you, and I'm thanking you for choosing to tune in. I thank you for your courage, for your bravery, for your commitment to choose to tune into this rather than doing something else. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I bless this podcast. I bless this episode, fully knowing that as it is God, Spirit flowing through us, this episode, this podcast is for the highest good for everyone and anyone tuning in to hear my voice. I bless the technology that allows this to take place. I bless my sanctuary, my office. It is such a blessed place. I love it so much. So I just want to bless it. I bless myself. I bless the planet, Mother Earth. I bless every being on this planet, fully knowing that each and every single one is unique and perfect emanation of God. Is wholeness expressing itself in, as, and through them. Is peace expressing itself in, as, and through them. Is abundance expressing itself in, as, and through them. I bless them, I bless them, I bless them, I bless you, I bless you, I bless you. I bless us all. Something wonderful is happening, and I know that it is done. We're now witnessing the doneness as it demonstrates itself in us and through each of our lives. So it is, so be it. Amen. Amen. So until next time, thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, I bless your day, and I bless your way. Namaste. You have been listening to an episode of the Path to Freedom podcast with me, Daniel Roqueo. I invite you to stay tuned for more episodes. If you have any questions or comments, or just want to get more inspiration and empowerment, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I also invite you to visit my website, danielroqueo.com. I bless your day, and I bless your way, you beautiful, wonderful being.